Welcome, everyone. We are live this morning. We are live this lovely Thursday. It is Thursday. Um, we're going to make life simpler because I find it's rather incredible listen, even I do it, don't worry, right? There's 4 simple steps, just 4, and we do them every single day. We do them every day. What would it feel like if I were in a better mood? That's step 1. Step 2, once you figure out what the better mood is, move to it. How do you move to another mood that makes you feel better? Is that music? Is that reading? Whatever you do to get yourself in a better mental space is what you do. Step 3, the longer you stay in the mood that you have selected, you'll begin to have the corresponding experiences. Hmm? And step 4, start at step 1 again. Use step 1 to adjust the mood. So select your mood, move to it, remain in it as long as you can, and start all over again. That is actually how we live our lives. We genuinely live our lives from that place. If you pay attention, you will see it. It's just that we've developed words to keep ourselves stuck. We have developed words to keep ourselves stuck. We really have. And I know it's not rainbows and butterflies and unicorns and pixie dust, but what type of life do you want? You see, this is the question. And I know, well, Angela, you say it like that because you've never experienced any kind of hardship. I could tell you stories. But if I tell you stories, I have to relive those stories. And I will not relive those stories. That's why I don't tell them to myself anymore. And when I'm in the mood to tell the story, I have to stop and remind myself, heifer, not today. Did you forget so quick what happened? Well, remember. Oh, Angela, you say that because you've never dealt with anxiety and depression. I'm going to say this again because I genuinely love you, and nobody wants to suffer with depression or anxiety. Nobody does. But it's a big business. So, when you are in the throes of anxiety, what's happening to you? You have a thought going around and around in your head, and your body has responded to it. How? Sped up heart rate, you're sweating, the chest is tight, shortness of breath, palpitations. I could go on because there's many more. That's what's happening to you. Like, that's what's happening to you. Why? Because you are remembering something. You are remembering something. You are remembering something. Do you know if you forgot that thing, you wouldn't have that same reaction? Oh, well, Angela, it's not that easy. Do you know why it's not that easy? Because you spent all of that time in step 3. You've remained in the state so long, the state of anxiety and worry and fretting so long, that it has become a habit. So it haunts you all the time because that's what it thinks you want to do. That's what your brain thinks you want to do. Every time you practice a particular thing and you practice it incessantly, and you go out into the world and you encounter something similar to it, you will have the same response because your body and your brain say, well, look at this. We've practiced this and this is exactly like it. So let's react the way we know she wants to or the way he wants to. It is the same with depression. The thought is swirling in your mind and it paralyzes you to the point you don't want to eat, you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to talk to people. Shoot, you don't even clean. And I have seen some pictures of people of their spaces in their homes. Oh, I've seen, man, Reddit is something else. I've seen these photos and they said, I don't even know where to begin. This is what they say. But remember, the surroundings are always going to show you what's going on inside your mind. And it is only happening in there. And the longer it happens in your mind, you have to continually experience it. So it becomes this chasing tail moment. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen that commercial. We used to have it here in Canada. I can't get a job because I have no experience. I have no experience because I can't get a job. I have no job because I have no experience. I have no experience because I can't get a job. Over and over and over again. The way to break the cycle is to do something else. Because what are you doing in the cycle? The same thing, the same way every time. So the answer to release yourself is to do something different, or else you remain doing the same thing. And I can hear the rebuttals right now. I can hear them all because there's no rebuttal you can tell me that I have not told myself. You think I don't know? That's what I'm trying to tell you. I get it. I know. We go and look at what we do in order to make ourselves feel better. Do you not realize this is what we do on a daily basis? When you want to feel better, what do some people do? Some people eat. Some people drink. Some people smoke a blunt. Some people have wild and crazy sex. You know, people do things to make themselves feel better. Why? Because nobody wants to feel bad. You are already doing it. The point here is to choose the thing you will do to make you feel better that will not further put you backwards. What do I mean by that? So if you have emotional eating, if you have emotional shopping, by the time you've done doing those activities, what do you feel? Guilt. So are you further ahead? No, because now you have to contend with the guilt on top of what you felt before. So it becomes a spiral and it feels like you can't get out. When all that is actually happening is the mood that you are occupying. And because of the mood that we persistently occupy, we have to behave in the way of the mood. So that's the problem. That is the solution. If the problem is you keep thinking the same way every time, well, then what's the solution? Think a different way. But Angela, you make it sound so easy. And I'm telling you that it is. It gets easier when you begin to deliberately practice a new way of thinking. At first, it feels like it's whooping your butt because it's like that baby. You have a baby and they're learning how to crawl, how to walk. And you're sitting on the floor with them and somebody else, and all these pretty toys are there. But there's a light on in the oven. What's that over there? and they start crawling towards the oven. Now we have two choices, three if we're lucky. Pick up the baby and put it where you want it to be, which is in front of the toys next to you. Beat the baby. Is the baby doing something wrong? Going towards the stove is not wrong. The child is learning how to do something and it is curious about what it can do and what's over there. And it says, wait a minute, I am mobile, I can move myself. And it starts to go in that direction. You can beat the baby, you can holler at the baby all you want, but you can't change the nature of the baby, which is to crawl and to explore. You and I are the baby. So don't beat yourself up. Don't be mad at yourself. Don't judge yourself. Choose, though. It would be better over here. Let's stay here. Let's go to this location mentally. And every time you find your mind wandering over towards that stove, pick it up and bring it and put it where you want it to be. Over and over and over again. Why? Because there will come a time, it's not too far off, but you have to be consistent with it. If you let the baby get to the stove, you have to start all over again. And that's okay. It's a learning process, and we learn by practice. So when you continually put your mind where you want it, listen, from sheer exhaustion, what's your mind, your brain? What am I asking you to do? Focus. That's what I'm asking you to do. You see, we think we get distracted. You don't actually get distracted. You just focus somewhere else that is more entertaining. We all have the ability to focus. Oh, I know I can hear them. But I have ADHD. I have ADD. You call it a monkey mind for a reason. The undisciplined mind will go wherever it wants to go. But you and I are not undisciplined. We can learn discipline. What is discipline anyway? Training yourself. Orange or kiwi strawberry. It is putting yourself in a position where you want to be at all times, which calls us to do what? Be deliberate and to watch ourselves. How many times have you left the house in a quote unquote bad mood? How many times have you done it? You ever paced? Oh, yeah, you see? You know what I'm talking about. It is simply practice. But we're so used to people telling us what to do that when someone asks you, what do you want to do? Well, I don't know, is what we hear, and that's what we say. You know? But there comes a time where you're going to choose what you want to do. We're not always in the mood. So we put ourselves in the mood. And that is always the first step, to recognize what mood you are in. Somebody asked the question, well, how do you change states? Have you watched yourself? Were you ever in a really good mood? Something happened, you say, oh, I don't like that. You know what? I just want to feel good. What do you naturally do? You naturally put yourself in a better mood. However you can is what you do to do it. So what I'm saying to you is, choose the mood that's not going to set you backwards, which means avoid things that will bring on guilt and shame and regret. Why? Because shame, guilt, and regret are also moods. And when you regret something, Neville went so far as to say when you regret, you reinfect yourself with the thing. Can you imagine, to reinfect? So, what are we going to practice? First of all, we're going to practice, listen, ain't nobody can make an excuse like me. Ain't nobody can say, but faster than me. So I know what I'm talking about. I want to, but I should, but ugh, I don't feel like it. But yeah, you see that? That's step one, because that is a mood. That is a mental state of mind. That is a mental state of mind. You see, sometimes we get lost in the mood where we want to try and analyze and what words do I want to use now? Try and figure out why the mood is there. If you look at why is it there? Because you chose it. That's why the mood is there. The mood is there because of the memory you are entertaining. That's why your mood is there. Again, the mood that you are in is there because you are entertaining the memory attached to it. We just live by memories, y'all. When you go out there and you write something out, you type, did you learn how to do it this morning? No, you're remembering how to do it. That is what we do. We recall the information and we repeat the information. So if you want to change your life, identify the predominant mood that you are always in. Don't try and figure it out. You know why it's there because you're entertaining the memory attached. And the only thing that really takes away the memory, Alzheimer's. So we have to be deliberate now because ain't nobody wants Alzheimer's because it doesn't just stop with one memory. Nope. It's not selective. It just takes them all. But we get the opportunity to be selective and say, you know what? I am tired of being sick and tired. This is the first thing people say. But don't let me ramble in here this morning. Don't let me preach. So here are the steps. And when you catch yourself wanting to make the excuse as to why, or we have many, the favorite excuse is, you don't know how I've been wronged. You don't know what they did to me. Listen, I can go back all the way to when I was a little knock-kneed girl, and I can tell you the wrongs. But what good does the wrong do me now? Nothing. It keeps me stuck where I am, and I'm watching everybody else live a life that is great. And here I am, I'm watching them live a life that I think is great because it's better than mine. And I say, you see, their life is better than mine. No, it's because I'm sitting here in the corner bitching and moaning about what I don't have. And if I'm so busy bitching and moaning about what I don't have, how can I be inspired to go get what I want? So you see, we have a tough choice. Hold on to the injustice because that's a memory. Oh, and some of us will really love to hold on to it, boy. I'm coming for you this morning because I had to wake up and come for myself. Don't think that I escaped this. I have to live by law because if I don't, I'm broken. So when you are tempted to reminisce, to remember, to regret, when you're tempted to do that, I gotta shake you off. You have to shake that bad boy off. Get off of me. That's why Jesus said, get thee behind me, Satan. Why did he say behind? Because I ain't looking back. That's why. You don't pay attention to the things that are behind you. You do like Paul and you press forward towards the goal. As I said, the memory is going to be there unless Alzheimer's takes it. So, what are we going to do? We are going to select our mood that we want to be in. And you do whatever it takes to bring yourself back to the thought that is more desirable over and over and over again. Because when you do that, because that's what has you in the other mood, you entertained the thought over and over and over again, and thus you are there. So to get here, entertain another thought, another mood. And Neville tells you to ask yourself a simple question. What would it feel like if I were in a better mood? Let me tell you something, Linda. I had a mood yesterday. I was trying to upload the chapters for the book I'm recording, and it kept coming back with an error. Too low of a decibel, too high of a decibel. Listen, let me tell you something. After 2 hours, it took me longer. I cussed and I was in a foul mood. And as I was walking out, I said, you know what? I just want to feel better. Okay, I just want to feel better. And by the time I got to the couch and I sat down, not only did I feel better, but I had an idea. And wouldn't you know, the idea was always there. Well, clearly it was. I just was too busy flexing in my pissy mood to see it. And I said, why did I start here? Why didn't I start 2 hours ago? Because we get caught up in it. That's why. And that's the same for every single situation. The money, the relationship, the job, the car, everything has the exact same mental origin. And like I told you guys yesterday, the minute you ask yourself what it would be to feel better, what would it feel like if I felt better? If you just let yourself, you would actually instantaneously feel better. And when you feel better from there, go and live from that place now. Because you've just asked yourself to provide you some mental relief. Why? Because then you can see clearly, you can hear clearly. That's what you're doing. When you say, oh man, I just want to feel better. And you begin to feel like it starts to dissipate. The tension begins to dissipate. It just leaves slowly. It trickles out of you. And it kind of leaves you feeling limp. That's what you want. We have the ability to help ourselves to see clearly through anything. So the encouragement is check your mood, because whatever mood you're in is how you're going to act. And there's no way around that. You reap what you've sown. And the mood, well, those are the seeds you're planting, and the experiences. Oh, look, there's my harvest. Did you plant thistles or did you plant roses? You decide. At least with the roses, you can clearly see those thorns and you don't have to touch them. But with thistles, that's it. As soon as you're in it, you're gripped by it. That's the end of it. But you can always get yourself out if you can remember the famous line, and I'm going to say it: there is no spoon. There is no spoon. It is only the mind that bends. It is always going to be your mind and the way you perceive the situation. If you perceive a threat, you become what? Defensive. Or, depending on how skilled you are, you go on the offense. Because ain't nobody taking me. I'm going to beat you first, right? That's how we think, based upon the perception of a threat. That's what we do naturally. So today, my beautiful friends, pay attention to the mood that you are in. If you do not like your present mood, what would it be like if you felt better? Ask yourself that question. And when you begin to ask yourself that question, you begin to feel better. Why? Because there's something better going on in your mind now. Oh, there is. And then you see that new mood that you're in? If you return to that new mood over and over and over again, just simply for the fact of feeling better, if that is your only goal on a daily basis, is to feel better than you did 20 minutes ago, you'll feel better. And from that better feeling place, that mood, you begin to see, oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do that. Oh, I could do this. All that begins to open up for you. But in order for it to open up for you, you have to entertain it. You have to look at it. You have to give it your attention. What you give your attention to, you breathe life into. Go and look at the plant that's sitting in the window that you haven't watered for a couple of days. Oh, you forgot to do that? Well, you didn't give it your attention. Things wither and die for want of attention. Those are Neville Goddard's words. Things wither and die for want of attention. So if you want a memory to leave you alone, entertain another one that's better than that one. And over time, you won't go there first. You won't go to that memory. It'll just be there in the distant past. Because that's what happens. Remember, I told you, when we remember, we repeat. So don't think because you're remembering something from 30 or 40 years ago, shoot, from yesterday, you are dragging that thing with you all the way to where? Right now. So is it ever in the past? Not as long as you can remember it. You're pulling it with you into the present and oh, what? The future. Future. SpongeBob. I digress. So this morning, what's that thing that's got you in its thrall, got you hypnotized and frozen like Lot's wife? Talking about this is my lot in life. This is all I can be. No, it's all you let yourself be. Again, I'm going to try and find a way to sweeten that for you. Let me see. We all know it. If you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, what? You better wake up and pay attention. Don't come for me, Sister Act. Okay? I'm just trying to tell you, you are the one at the driver's wheel. You have your foot on the brake, gas, clutch, whatever. You are the one. But for some reason, you have allowed a lie to penetrate you. I can think of many things to penetrate me, and a lie is not one of them, but I digress again. You've allowed a lie to penetrate you. And what's that lie? You need a chauffeur. You need, listen, even with the chauffeur, what do you have to do? Tell the chauffeur where you want to go. So whose final decision is it? Yours. I feel like I'm a mom this morning, and sometimes my child will hide under the blankets, and you say, "Oh, mommy, I just can't today." And I sit there, and I whisper all of the sweet things that are going on the outside. And sometimes I just have to say one word: beignets, Deutsch baby, candy. And he will emerge from that blanket. So here's a question for you. The better feeling thought is like candy. It really is. Well, maybe if you don't like candy, but you like something that makes you feel better, don't you? Maybe it's your favorite song. And all you have to do is hear the first few bars of the song. That's all you got to hear is the first few bars, and then you feel better already. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But you see, sometimes we want to numb how we feel. There's a problem when you numb it. You don't know when the damage is being done because you numb it. You don't want to numb a single thing. You want to feel it because when you feel it, now you can decide, oh, hell no, this is not for me, or give me more. You will make the choice. That's why you don't numb it. Don't drown it out. Hear what it is saying to you. It is telling you you don't want to be in that mood, baby. That's what it's telling you. Now, I don't know if you like lemons or limes, but I do. A nice piece of key lime pie or a lemon meringue on their own. Whew, child, lemon on their own, lime on their own, and you are asking for Jesus. Because that is tart. But that's what this message is like for you this morning. A little tart. So we're going to sweeten it for you. To sweeten it means you decide how beautiful you want your life to be. I didn't ask if you had the qualifications. I'm telling you, if you stop complaining, a way will show up for you to get the qualifications. That's what I'm trying to say to you. But Angela, it hurts too much. I can't go on, is what we want to say. But the only reason why you feel like you can't go on is because you're stuck in the thistles. So free your mind today. And how do you free it? By changing your mood. And when you change your mood, if that mood feels better to you, oh, listen. If you were like children back in the day, if that mood feels good to you, it's like the rain. Run outside in the rain and just let it saturate you. And you can hear your mother, child, you better come in here before you catch a cold. That's what you hear. Dance in that good mood. Revel in it. Revel in that good mood for as long as you can, as many times as you can. And you will get so many ideas and opportunities. It's not that they weren't there. You just couldn't hear or see them because you were otherwise entertained by something else. So let us take a brief moment, shall we, to welcome everyone into the space today because it is a great day. Miss T-versation. Checkmate. TX Price. Lasagna, and the others who've not made themselves known in the chat here on YouTube and Facebook. Hey, I see you. Twitter is bumping. Hello, hello, hello. Tiffany and Javion. Let's go. V224, Lady Sai, and beloved Love Troll. Listen, it is always such a pleasure and a privilege to see each and every one of you this morning. Fan base, who is in the house? Miss Boricua is in the house. Mansa, Malik, Terms and Conditions. KZ, Ali, Miss McQueen, Fawn, Flo Smiles, Honey, Shea Butter, Oracle Treehouse, King Thoy, Happy, and Substance. Well, hello, stranger. Substance girl, I haven't seen you in forever. Forever, ever? Yeah, forever, ever. I haven't seen you in a long time. It's good to have all of you here this morning. And I trust that I wasn't a little harsh. But uh told you I was the queen of butt. I trust I wasn't too harsh with you this morning. What I am wanting to entice you with is the desire for a better life, for better lived experiences. Don't you want to tell a new story? Well, then you have to rehearse that new story. Because the moment you start to rehearse it, because remember, you are the star of your show, and this is your life by Guy Smiling, Sesame Street. So when you out here in these streets, oh, oh, is that bird song? Wait for it. He's coming. When you're out here in these streets and you want a better life, what does that better life look and sound like? Start telling yourself that story because we already have a story on the tip of our tongue. Girl, let me tell you, you wouldn't believe what happened. Da 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 da. And we tell that story. And then we wonder why we keep reliving that story. But don't let me be like a broken record for you today. You want to hear a new song? Go put your records on, is what you got to do. You got to put a new record on. Here it is. Let it out, big boy. Come on. You're killing your mother. That's my cue. That is my cue to remind you. Step one, identify your mood. Step two, if you don't like it, make yourself feel better. Put yourself in a better mood. Step three, return to the better feeling mood as many times and hold it for as long as you can. Step four, repeat step 1 through 3. That is the formula because that is how we live life. Now, when you hear the bowl and bird song, hey, Joaquim, when you hear the bowl and bird song, my beautiful friends, make a decision today. Make it just a simple one. You want to feel good? Okay, then run with that one, and you will realize that the feeling good will only start one place. It's in your mind, is where it starts, and then it spreads. It spreads from there into every facet to create your life experiences. Yes, honey, I'm getting the bowl. Don't you sass me. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tiffany, Javion, beloved love troll, Lady Sigh, V224, thank you for being here today. Miss T-Versation, Checkmate, TX Price, Sonia, and everybody else on YouTube and Facebook. Fanbase, I'm coming for y'all. I just got to make some hands free. But thank you all for being here, and I will see you tonight if you are awake. And we'll read the lecture. I'm trying to push my glasses up, but I'm not wearing them. Save me, Jesus. Well, you know what time it is. 10:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the bedtime lecture. So we fall asleep in the state of the wish fulfilled. Hey, so I'll see you tonight.